Hey everyone, I am super excited to say that we just launched a brand new tool a couple days ago called One Min Pitch, and I want to tell you all about it. You see, one of the most difficult things whenever you are providing a service for someone or developing a brand new tool is you know what makes that tool so special. And you know why the services you provide are so great. But the biggest problem, you have to take all of that knowledge you have and in less than a minute, convey all of that to a customer to tell them why they need this product, what problem it's going to solve for them, how does it solve it, what are all the alternatives that the customer is probably already using, and why should they stop using that and use your thing instead. And even worse, if you have a big sales team, making sure that every single person says the exact same thing. Otherwise, you're making different promises to different customers, and that never turns out well. There's a reason why Mark Twain has famously said, "I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead." And how often have you run into that problem where you're talking with a customer or your advisor basically says, "Hey, your pitch sucks. It took you 10 minutes to get to the part about why you're different." And it shouldn't require you to spend hundreds of dollars an hour on a consultant to essentially just brainstorm with you to help you figure out what is it you want to say. So here's what we did. Remember Mad Libs you would used to do as a kid when you were in a car ride? You'd have a great story, it was already telling, and you just filled in the blank, and it eventually made your own story. And it was so much easier to start from something and edit it rather than start from scratch. So that's what 1 minute pitch essentially is. We have these different templates you can go and follow to build out what your ideal pitch should be. So as an example, let's just go walk through one. So I'm going to go and recreate this specific pitch you see on the screen right now. It's for a company we called AromaFlow, which actual product out there have a nice little water bottle that has a scented ring at the top. So when you drink water, it actually tastes a little bit different than plain water. It might taste a little bit fruity because of the power of your olfactory senses in your nose. It kind of tricks your taste buds. So let's start from scratch. Let's say I need to be able to describe to any customer or maybe an investor early on exactly what I'm building. So let's just call this, what would be a really fun name for this? Let's call it Water Bottle Water Magic. That sounds kind of fun. All right, cool. Now, what we're going to do is we have these fill in the blanks. And what you can do is just go fill this in. That's what we have on the free version. But if you want to go spend $5, you can go and upgrade and get our AI assistant, which we're going to go and talk with Ruby, as we call her right now, to help us step through and to figure out how should we actually word what we want to at least get a starting point. So I'm going to open up Ruby here. I'm going to turn on speech to text on my MacBook so you can hear what I'm saying. And let's just have a conversation. So I have a company that the entire premise behind it is that a lot of people out there don't really enjoy drinking water, period. Because they love drinking Diet Coke, probably Coca-Cola products, lots of other different sodas. And especially as we start off the new year, they want to become healthier, period. So what we did is develop a really cool scented ring that goes on the top of one of our proprietary water bottles, period. And because the sense in your nose is so powerful, it essentially tricks your taste buds that whenever you drink water, because you're smelling something like citrus or lemon or lime from our scented ring, it makes the water taste like a citrus fruit or whatever our scented rings are. Awesome. So I could give it more information, but that's probably enough for right now. And let's just see what Ruby has here. All right. So first thing, do we have a name picked out for the business? Ooh, you know what? Let's go extreme and say I haven't even thought about that. What do you think would be a great name? I don't have one yet. Ooh, okay. Now, I may or may not like these ideas, but let's just say I really like Aquascent. I think that's a really great idea. I love Aquascent. let's go with that for now. So awesome. So help us pick out a company name. And Ruby here is going to step through all the different parts of the pitch that really are required to build out something wonderful. So you can see she's already providing a couple different things that we might consider boiling down that message that took me several minutes to actually describe into something that we can do in about a minute. But because I just like to see what she could come up with already, I'm going to click this button that says Create AI Version. I'm going to create a new version here. And in just a few seconds, we're going to have a completely created version right here on the screen. I'm just going to go and read it right now. My company, Aquascent, is providing scented sensory rings and proprietary water bottles to help health-conscious soda drinkers looking to increase their water intake solve the challenge of transitioning from flavored beverages to plain water with aroma-enhanced drinking technology that tricks taste buds into experiencing flavored water through scent without any additives. Let without any other edits, that's already pretty darn good. I could go in here and, of course, and chat with her and say, hey, let me turn speech to text back on. The pitch that you just created for me is a little bit too wordy. How could we potentially make it about 20% shorter? What would you do? Now, she's going to go and throw that back in there, and she'll probably come back with a couple different suggestions about how we trim stuff up just a little bit here. So let's see what she comes up with. Ooh, my company Aquascent is providing scented sensory rings and water bottles. Looking through here. Yeah, that is a good deal shorter. And so what I'm going to do here is I don't want to type all that out, and maybe she has some other changes, so I'm just going to create another AI version once again. And she knows everything we've been talking about. She sees the version of the pitch on the screen right now, and boom, it's there right now, and I can, of course, go and edit it. Now, the team didn't stop there, though, because that's already great, but there's a couple other things. So first, I'm just jazzed about this because it's so cool. One, we can see all the different versions of our pitch, right? Every single time the AI goes, or Ruby essentially goes and creates a new version of your pitch, you can go back to the old one whenever you want. So you never have to worry about her removing something you had before. I can go all the way back to the beginning, right? I can come over here, and let's say I want to go a different direction. Well, why don't I just go save? Let's save as a new version. And now I have a, testing out right now. Of course, this all auto saves, so I can view versions, and boom, I can go back to the version she had. I can go back to the version that I have right here. So it's nice and easy to go test out different versions. Nice, quick, and snappy. But on top of that, because not everyone will have an account, like what if you want to send this over to, let's imagine you have a sales team. You want to go get it out to all of them. So let's just go click share here, open up a new incognito window here, and bam, I can instantly share this with people. They don't need an account, but they can easily just go and make one if they want to make their own version of your pitch or provide some edits. So 1 min pitch rather, is such a fun little tool, and we wanted to release this at the start of the year because we ourselves at Hard Knocks Labs have a lot of other products that we want to develop. And we need to find a really good way of not having to spend days doing essentially what this tool allows us to now do in about a few minutes. So if this is something interesting to you, let me know. I would love to get all of your feedback from it, but for the most part, I want to see what everyone else is building, and I want to help make sure that all of you that provide amazing services and all these cool new tools that you might be developing in 2025, I want to help you make them as successful as possible. Because getting your mission, getting your vision across to people is hard, but with this tool, it doesn't have to be as difficult as it has been before.